today's hygiene and health lesson, we'll be covering the topic on daily cleaning. Okay, this daily cleaning can be applied whether it is in the center, context, or also even at your home. Okay, 今天的健康与卫生课，我们会讲关于美热的清洁。这个美热的清洁呢，可以是在我们中心，也可以是在自己家里。So we'll be covering on washing utensils, table cleaning, bedtidiness, and mopping the floor. So 今天的内容主要会讲关于洗餐具、抹桌子、整理床和抹地板。So washing utensils，这个洗餐具呢，when we wash utensils, right, we have to remember to always use detergent. Okay, if you don't use detergent, you won't be able to fully clean off the excess residues or oil. Yeah, because this detergent, right, actually helps to wash off the oily stuff. Okay, yeah, 我们洗餐具的时候呢，一定要用肥皂。Okay，因为如果不用的话呢，上面的油基这些都没有那么容易洗掉。Okay, firstly, when we wash plates, right, we have to make sure that we throw all the leftovers into the rubbish bin first before going to the sink. Okay, do you remember, like, even on Thursday's cooking, we always try to get you guys to remove all the excess rice, vegetables into the dustbin before you move on to even washing it at the basin. Okay, so it's very important. Yeah, because you don't want to choke up the sink. Okay, if everyone wash and throw their leftover inside the sink will jam up. Okay, and then you'll have a hard time trying to clear off the water. Yeah. 所以呢，当我们洗碗的时候呢，要确保把剩下的那些吃不完的食物都倒进垃圾桶里，才去水槽里面洗。OK， 不要直接去水槽然后把那些剩下的食物扔在水槽里面，因为这样会堵塞那个水槽，然后那些水就会涨上来。呀，所以记得好像我们拜四的时候，自己煮的食物，我们不是都会叫你把剩余的那些吃不完的丢进垃圾桶才去洗碗吗？就是这个道理。And then we have to make sure to thoroughly wet the plate. Okay, thoroughly means even the bottom of the plate also must wash. Okay, because sometimes the bottom of the plate might also be in contact with the food. It also might be dirty. Okay, or the sauce can actually touch the bottom as well. So make sure to clean and wet every part of the plate. So 当我们洗盘的时候，要确保把整个盘都弄湿，除了这个表面，你那个盘的底层也要抹 ，OK？ And then use detergent and a sponge, and then use strength to wipe the plate. Don't just lightly brush off, okay? Some dirt they are more stubborn, so you need to use a bit of strength to scratch it off. 然后我们要用沾着肥皂的海绵来擦盘子。擦盘子的时候要用力去擦，因为有一些污垢比较顽强，没有那么容易搓掉，所以你要大力一点去擦才会把那个东西给擦掉。Okay, then we wash off with the detergent thoroughly. Okay, that also includes the bottom yeah, 然后把肥皂完全洗掉。Okay, 这也包括那个盘子底层。Okay, then lastly you wipe the plates dry. Okay, in our case we actually put it at the dish rack to let it dry. Yeah, but let's say if you want to put it in the cupboard, make sure that it's dry first. Okay, 然后我们要把盘子擦干。Okay, 我们中心呢，我们是放在那个那边晒干的，对吗？可是如果你要放进那个橱里面，就要确保它的水分给擦掉先， 擦干。We move on to table cleaning， 然后讲关于抹桌子。Okay, when we use the table, right, to eat, make sure that we also have to be observant of the food crumbs that we left behind on the table, okay, or even on the floor after eating. Okay, make sure that we pick up all this leftover, the crumbs, after finishing our meal and throw it in the bin. Okay, if you don't do so, either the table will be really dirty or you can even attract insects such as ants, yeah, which is very unpleasant. Yeah. 所以我们吃完饭后呢，一定要确保没有把食物的残渣留在桌子上或者地板上。OK， 因为如果你有发现的话，就拿个纸巾把它擦掉，然后丢进垃圾桶里。呀，如果你不擦掉的话，它就那个桌子就会变得很脏，然后这些残渣都会吸引那些蚂蚁，OK， 还有蟑螂。Always use a clean cloth to wipe. Okay, don't use a dirty cloth. So make sure you wash the cloth first before wiping. 记得要用干净的布来擦桌子。擦桌子前要先把布给弄湿。Okay, and then we use strength to wipe the table so that the dirt can come off. Yeah, because some dirt they might stay on the table for maybe they have been there for a long time, so it's not so easy to rub off. Yeah, so use some strength. Okay, and wipe the same spot a few times. Don't just wipe across then leave it. And maybe the dirt is still there. Okay, so check. Yeah. 所以我们要用力去抹桌子，因为有一些污垢呢没有那么容易的抹掉，呀，而且可能有一些污垢是在那边累积了几个星期的，所以当然就没有那么容易擦得掉，呀，所以你要用力，然后在那个地方擦多几次，可以不要只是轻轻的擦一下就抹别的地方，这样的话那个污垢可能不会完全去掉。Okay, and hold any loose dirt into the cloth and dispose the dirt into the bin. Okay, not onto the floor. Okay, sometimes maybe you pick it up with the cloth, right? Just throw it throw the dirt inside the bin. Okay, don't drop it. Yeah, 因为可能你抹桌子的时候呢，你捡起那些饼干碎啊，就是食物的残渣，这些残渣就直接丢进垃圾桶里，然后去洗布。可以不要扔到地上去。Okay, next we move on to bedtidiness， 然后讲关于整理床。This will apply more to like at home， 这个就会讲关于在家里。Okay, so when you wake up, you should make your bed every time. Yeah, 我们醒来的时候呢，都应该整理床。Yeah, so why？ 为什么呢？Because by making our bed, it helps to reduce the amount of dust that is trapped in the bed. Yeah, and then will reduce the amount of dark areas for bed bugs to grow. Yeah, so maybe when you make your bed, you can decrease the chance of having this unpleasant insects inside also. Okay, 当我们整理床呢，就能减少这些灰尘，也能减少臭虫的生长。Okay, then now we move on to mopping floor. 接下来讲关于抹地板。Okay, so there are 7 steps to mopping the floor. 抹地板有7个步骤。Okay, firstly, we clean the furniture first. So that way, if any dirt falls on the floor, it will fall before you clean. Yeah, so for example, if we wipe the shelf or this, okay, we can sometimes the dust on the shelf might drop on the floor. So best is that you clean the shelf first before you clean the floor. Okay, if not, if you already wipe off the floor, okay, clean, then you go and wipe the shelf, then the dirt will just move onto the clean floor that you just wipe. Okay, 在我们擦地板前，一定要先擦一下家具。可以，要不然的话，如果你擦完地板去擦肮脏的家具呢，那些灰尘就会掉落在你刚擦好的地板。Okay, so 先擦地板，先擦家具了才擦地板。 Okay, and then send anyone that is likely to walk over the floor out of the area. Okay, this also applies in the center. So for those people who is in charge of cleaning, wiping of the floor, make sure that you don't let people walk around, because if you clean it and people walk over it, you're just gonna leave more footprints there. Okay, and it defeats the purpose. Yeah. 所以在你抹地板的时候呢，你要叫别人不能过来，要不然他们踩在湿的地板，那些脚印就会落在上面。OK， 不然就是等于擦了白擦咯。Yeah, and then before we wipe the floor, make sure we sweep the floor first, because right, if you don't, the mop is gonna um push you're just gonna push the dust around. Yeah, if you don't sweep the floor first. Okay, 所以你在抹地前一定要先扫地。Yeah， 因为这个拖把不好尸体污垢。yeah， 所以你要先扫掉那些灰尘才来抹地。And then make sure that we wring the excess solution out of the mop. If your mop is too wet, too damp, the floor that you wipe will be very slippery. Yeah, and then people might slip and fall. And it won't be so effective. Okay, so make sure you rinse it off first. Yeah， 在你抹地前呢，那个摸把要把那个水搅干。因为如果那个摸把太湿的话，就你的地就会特别湿，容易滑倒。Okay, so how you check is maybe you lift it up and see whether there are still water dripping down the mop. Yeah， 你怎么查呢？可能你可以先把那拖把拿起来，然后看有没有水滴。如果有水滴，就是代表它还是很湿。Okay, and then make sure we start in one corner of the room first, then move on to the other areas. Yeah, okay, and then we have to add some pressure as we clean off the dirt. Yeah, if we don't, the dirt will still remain there. Yeah, 所以我们擦的时候呢，可以在一个角落头先擦起。Okay， 然后要摸的时候要大力的擦。Yeah， 这样那些污垢才被抹得掉。Yeah. Okay, so work systematically from the inside to outside. Yeah, make sure that you put the mop in front of you and you walk backwards. Yeah, okay, because if you do so, you won't be get to step on those area that you just mop. Yeah, for those people who put the mop in front and you just walk towards the mop direction, you're just gonna step over whatever you just mop. Okay. 所以你抹地的时候呢，要有顺序的抹你要朝后这样那个拖把要在前面，然后你朝后走这样的话你就不用踩到你刚抹好的地方。Okay, then the last step, don't leave the mop in the bucket. If not, it will rot and smell bad. So once you're done with the mop, rinse it and then just leave it at a corner to dry. Okay, 不要把那个拖把留在那个桶中，不然那个拖把会变臭。所以你抹完后呢，洗一下那个拖把，然后把它放在外面晒干。